Some weeks ago, we took a walk in a beautiful oak forest at the seacoast. There were tracks of animals everywhere and almost no one else around.
Ja.
We were thinking about using these for the future kitchen in the house. So we will make like a handmade, it will be a handcrafted kitchen, and these will be useful as planks. The neighbor has like a homemade sawmill with a chainsaw system he made himself. So these will be turned into planks, and hopefully he can help us out with that.
In the last video I started on a new woodblock project. It is called Saaremaa Spa House, and it is inspired by the spa culture of my home island Saaremaa. I have been all over the place these last weeks, and it's many small things around our land. One thing was to cut down all the little tree seedlings growing in the pasture that will be turned into gardens someday in the future. We might introduce the help of chickens and sheep in the meantime to keep the landscape rotationally grazed and fertilized before turning it into a flower and food production area. Jonas has been single-focused very much on gathering the materials for the future house. We are hoping to start building a roundwood timber frame strawbale house this spring. Nothing too big or fancy, just a small but beautifully handcrafted house with big windows facing the south. The timber construction will be filled in with straw bales and finished with clay plaster.
Hier liggen ook veel takken, hè?
Nou, ook gewoon de banden en de klein.
Schattig. Maar misschien dat dat wel kan werken met grotere bandjes. Hey, how are you all doing? So we have been working on this deer fence for some weeks now, because we had a lot of branches left when we were pulling down the trees for the future build of the house. And I was thinking to do something useful with them. And at the same time we see a lot of deer traces in the snow. So we know we will have problems if we don't do anything about it when we have a garden here. So my thinking was to make a big wall with the branches all around here. You can see it in the background. It's going all around the first part of the garden. So they don't jump over it. And I was also thinking to start planting in autumn, start planting like a hedge next to the branches. So when they decay, they can like fertilize the new plantings and they can as well protect them from grazing animals. So they can establish and then form like a living hedge over time. Hopefully like a flowering one, so I can use them in the future to add to the bouquets. And I was also thinking these branches, these walls of branches could provide some habitat for animals that could maybe help us out in the garden, like frogs or snakes, or I don't know, maybe some snakes that want to live in here. I hope it will not attract like 1,000 of slugs that will eat all our plants. Behind me we had like a wall of trees, and that's all gone now. So we have much more light reaching the future gardens. So that's really good. And now we can finally see our beautiful oaks that are behind me. I don't know if you can see them. It's like some massive old oaks. They're really beautiful. This is so beautiful. I'm just so happy with our land. It's such a beautiful spot. I can't believe it. If I look back on like 1 year ago, what I was doing and thinking, I was like making lists and planning for the future at that point, and I was listing all the things I would love and like about. I was making a list about all the things that would be like really cool to have on our property, and I think this property just checked it all off somehow. That's really amazing.
We have been debarking a lot. All the trees are gathered from our land and need to be prepared before the build. It has been a dream of ours to be able to build our house with our own hands for many years now, and it is finally happening now.
Working in the sun feels so good. First time after many months I can sit outside again and work on the woodcuts in the sunshine. It's a real pleasure. This first spring sun. It's awesome.
It's a huge building, much like a greenhouse, with a swimming pond, a sauna, a place for gathering and eating, many little corners to relax. Vegetables and plants are growing inside, protected by the winter weather. It was a most long-taking, detailed project I had endeavored on so far. The process took many hours of carving.
Yesterday we were invited by our neighbors to go in the sauna, in their little sauna they had on their place. And here in Estonia there's like a big sauna culture. So everybody here almost has a sauna, and they are doing this really often. So we are not experienced in the sauna, and then we Jonas and me went in the sauna, and then they went in the sauna, and then me and Jonas again. And then after we came out of the sauna, we poured like a cold bucket of ice cold water over us. It made me really scream. It's terrible, but after a few seconds, it gives a good feeling. It feels so refreshing. And because it was my birthday a couple of days ago, they gave me some honey from their home. They have bees over there, and some flower seeds. Exciting. Thank you very much if you're watching. It's really appreciated.
On my birthday we took a day off and went for a little day trip to Panga Cliff. Panga Cliff is situated right on the coast, cropping up like a wall, and its highest point used to be an ancient ritual site where people were sacrificed to the sea. A bit further we found a little beach with dozens of swans and the most beautiful melting ice patterns.
The snow is melting really fast now.
I'm also making space for a little greenhouse or plant nursery I want to build. Something we can work on when we are temporarily stuck on the house build. But there is a heap of heavy earth right on the place this little building will come. That needs to be removed first. This is hard work I don't like doing. With the melting snow, our paths were starting to get slippy. I figured I could maybe try to use the bark chips to extend the pathways.
Wow. Oh, this is all little flies. They make this really nice patterns. It almost looks like coral. Een beetje vies.
Now the snow has melted, forgotten things started to appear again, like these rotten wood logs beside the pot. They are perfect material to add to the Hubel Mount garden bed. This rotten wood really acts like a sponge and can provide the plants growing on it with the necessary water during droughts. Whilst moving this little pile of earth, I tried to save 2 little hazel trees growing in them. I gave them a better space, where they can help protect us from the wind in the summer. We were preparing the tree logs by using a liquid rubber on the places it will be put in the ground. Around the logs will come a layer of stones, so they don't touch the earth directly. But we are not entirely sure if this is okay on wood that is so fresh, as we really seal off the material and it cannot breathe anymore. so we actually prefer or trust the burning method more. By charcoaling the outside of the wood, it prevents fungi from getting in. Perhaps finished with some rubber at the bottom of the logs, where groundwater can reach some times of the year.
Because I've seen.
Whilst the conversation with Jordan Peterson is playing on the background, I'm making an order of the fishermen, a very dynamic image, inspired by the life of the fishermen on the island, their connection to the sea, the trees, the sea creatures, and the mythological life-giving forces beneath it all.
Opposites, and so in his story, you see, if you're attentive to these patterns, you see the highest form of this pattern being played out. And one of the aspects that has to be there for half-hearted in my estimation. And so I don't think people don't Christians don't manifest this, and I'm including myself, I suppose, in that description. Perhaps don't manifest.
I felt ready to make a test print of the new wood block. It took more than an hour of printing to get the image as best as possible transferred to a piece of paper. I'm really looking forward to having a dedicated space for printmaking in the future, as this cabin is simply too small for this process. First test print felt interesting, but not completely satisfying, as the inside of the building looks too dark with too little contrast. So there will be more improvements to make. If you like my artwork, I sell limited editions of my prints via the webshop. You can find the link below in the description. I thank you very much for watching this video and spending this time with us. I hope to see you in the next one.